What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hope you guys had a great day. To me, we finally had a nice runner that was above key structures, had a lot of volume. Um, it's LAES, guys. Do me a favor too, smash the thumbs up. If you're interested in the book, there's a link below. It's a phenomenal thing to learn off of, and today it really paid understanding what seller absorption looked like on the book. Okay, but I'm gonna dive into this one. This was a great one, and when I mean the daily on this one was great. Break down the daily real quick. Let's go to max daily. The daily on this was great. It was a bunch of sideways consolidation. They had a previous dump day that had 50 million volume on there, with more sideways consolidation. And then we started to see some stair stepping up on the daily. And yesterday was a nice day with 43 mil. And if you look at the day where it had only 50 mil, it was a nice, maybe a nice liquidity trap situation, but it's just a nice daily overall. Now, levels wise, these are some zones that I had, so very important. This was a zone that I had this was a daily zone. Okay, don't mind this one. This was an intraday zone. This was an important one. I did have 221s on this one. Okay, this was really great. All right, and then from ads, okay, if you go to the top right there, that's a 58% return of highs. I didn't catch the top. I caught some 330s, so that was a 50% return on the account. Very phenomenal. Super stoked about this one, just because throughout the week, right? Throughout the week, there's a lot of names that are for the longs at least, right? There's a lot of names that are just ripping pre-market. They might give you one or two pullbacks, but it's very hard to get in those with with anything. Sometimes it's like you add a little bit and then it's gone, and then you're stuck there with whatever you got, which was just great because it's great for me because I'm leaning towards the looking for a percent return rather than trying to take big size into things and things like this. But this was a nice account builder in my opinion, in general, right? Okay, book wise, let's dive into the book. I just wanted to show some key levels in there. Really quick too. Again, I did have the 4 hour up for a reason because after we reclaim certain daily areas, there's this 4 hour spike that went to 385. I don't think this is dead yet, but we'll see. Um, but there's this pretty much open space once we, reclaim some of these dailies area. These $2, this was important right here. So as this popped up, consolidated above $2, this was really, really great. Okay. Um, boom, the book. Okay. Yeah, we're still soaking. They soaked. Okay, let's go all the way down to the bottom. Okay. This thing did have a nice weak open too, kind of popped up and consolidated. Um, I added some of these right down here, but the only thing is like I wanted some more of a something more than just like 30 seconds, right? I don't want to take or accumulate a position. This is just me. I don't want to accumulate a position based off of 30 seconds of open, right? So when this came down and this did a nice seller absorption right here, okay? Very, very important, right? Two things. Not only is that a seller absorption, but it re-held this daily supply zone. So really wanted to see the bottom of that hold, okay? And then if you look left, this was a big area right here from yesterday's price action, okay? So it was important for me to see this sustain, confluence with daily zones, and then my favorite of all times now is to see some price action like this on the book, right? You got this, and then you got all this open space, right? Tons of open space, right? Open space, and writing that out, okay? Open space on the book, right? So things break down. They seem like they're starting to get weak, and now there's open space for it to reclaim. And you can see that they have this passive limit order right here. So it's a limit order that stays on the book that did not leave. Now, This name did a lot of things where they kept removing liquidity from the book, but not getting heavy and breaking down. Okay, so what does that mean, right? Um, these are passive limit orders. So you can see these right away. Once things are pulling back, you kind of see they have one right here, they have them right here. Sometimes they'll change right here. If you look on the current order book, they might fluctuate in size, right? 250 started to thin out a little bit. There was 46K, and then it came down to, a little bit under 38. So some of that was removed. But so what I mean by removing liquidity from the book means that someone is aggressively coming in and market buying these. You'll see these volume dots. They're market buying, removing this liquidity. So it doesn't mean that, in some situations that it could just keep going higher or break down after that, but they're taking it off. So now if it re-enters these areas, right? Now there's no liquidity, so this is open space. So this is another open space area, right? So more open space, okay? Cool. All right, so this is more open space right here. Okay. Now again, you're gonna see them do this right here, right? So this does pull back, but another passive order comes in here in 245s. They remove the liquidity, and this thing pulls back and consolidates. All right, pulls back, consolidates, and now you're gonna see these bidders start to get put on the book. All right. So this is about 70,000 worth of bids sitting at 233 and 235. Super cool, super nice to see. And now this is another key area, okay? These 250s, an aggressive market buyer comes in here, removes the liquidity off the book, and then it consolidates, doesn't get heavy or show that heaviness. I have a lot of examples of backside plays, heaviness of when the book kind of flips and turns, and when things actually start to get pretty heavy on the offer side. This does not happen, and you can see there's multiple areas, okay? Right here, where the book liquidity is getting removed and the stock is not breaking down. It's pulling back to a previous area of interest, not breaking down. There's no seller exhaustion down here, and then it's continuing. This is finally, thank you. There was a really great play to give back a nice return. We're 11 days in January. Now, don't get me wrong. There's other plays that are doing this, but percent-wise, guys, look at this too. Pulls back to a previous area of interest, consolidates off this area, and rips to new highs. Now, this 288 bidder even down here, and by the way, too, you can see these passive limit orders. So today for me, these were kind of like these big major PTs, okay, PT wise. And then as things started to consolidate more, you started seeing like 330s and 350s up here, which is great. We still haven't touched these 350s. We'll see what it does later. When I come back down here, this is important. Someone came on here, a front runner came on the book at 288 with 122,000 shares. Wow, saved it. Okay, nice. Whether this is a rigger, MM, I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. But all I know is that it was really cool to see this. It was cool because it's like, hey, I'm going to hold. An aggressive buyer came on the book. Okay, this thing did not break down, and in fact, all it did was just trade in this channel. If you kind of look at this, this thing traded basically, in a channel for a really long time, all the way up to almost 350s. Okay, put in some nice higher lows, and every time sellers came in, they just got absorbed. All right, you had a bunch of areas of absorption, and no follow through. Okay, even on the whole way down. Okay, so nice higher lows, trading in a nice channel, and then finally it went to go try 350s. Now I'm going to show you guys something because this is so cool. This is why I love the book. Okay, all right, there was no 351 prints. All right, look at this candlestick. What a joke. There was probably maybe some slippage. You can actually see some slippage volume dots right here. But the best offer did not come inside 350s or 351s yet. Okay. As clear as day. All right. Um, again, this thing is phenomenal. Oh, yeah. I want to show you a nice controlled walk down. Okay. This thing got super heavy down here as this thing was pulling back, but it pulled back to a previous area of interest, And the cool thing about this one was watching this and to see when they were going to let up. This is a bunch of examples of control, 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 and control. And finally someone come in here and swept this. And then now there's just no more control and tons, oops, I'm not going to redo that. Tons of open space to the upside. Okay, so now you're seeing tons of open space after this nice control. This was phenomenal. All right, these are just a couple things to look for, a couple things that I look for in general when I'm looking for a strong stock to stay strong, right? Or if a real breakdown or a book flip would come, because normally what I would see on these is, maybe you see this control, but as soon as it breaks down, it gets super heavy right here, and then there's no more buying, and then you'll see more breakdowns, and then you'll see some offers start piling in over here. But that did not happen. There's a bunch of open space. Someone came and swept it, whatever this controlled walk down was, and then you're gonna start seeing, okay, boom, front runner. Let's see where we're at. Okay, now I like to call this the sandwich. So we got a bid at 305, and then we still have an offer over here. So we're trading in this price range right here, 305s to 350. That's cool. We got some still aggressive buyers slapping 30,000 right here, 17K. Now when you come in here, it's going to be multiple volume dots. So just remember that these are a bunch of different orders. But when you're zoomed out of this, you're going to see in the grand scheme of things that there's some aggressive orders going in. Now, this is important. So, we'll see how this plays out. But this would be an example of someone come removing liquidity, and now the book is thin or thinner back up to 350, right? Now in the book, you're going to see this right here. This is my white line. Um, you can move this in and out if I press play. I like to keep mine out a little bit because what's going to happen here is that anything that pops up on the book that's new is going to show me right away, right? So that bidder, if you saw that bidder just came in and boom, now we have a 25K bidder at 340, okay? We got the best bid stepping inside here. So if no aggressive buyers come step in, if this is inside here and people start selling, you're going to start seeing them try to remove liquidity off 340s right here. So you got the best bid stepping in, and you got the best offer sitting around. So you got a 2-cent spread. Okay, now they're tightening it, so now it's 1 cent. Super cool to know, super cool to understand. Today was a great day in the neighborhood on LAES. That's pretty much all I got. I don't barely have anything left on this. Um, getting a 50% return is phenomenal for the account. So I just want to keep plugging away. This is my major goal for 2024 is to stick to names that, are not up really heavy on the day. Percent wise, like, I don't want to trade a name. That was a great sweep. They saw how they just dumped that right there. Okay. Not a sweep, but you just saw how they dumped that. There's no liquidity, so remember they pulled this bid, so maybe they're going to retest these, these 304s potentially, or kind of do another seller absorption. But okay, back to what I was saying. 2024 goal is to really focus on names that have higher probability to the upside, rather than trading names that are already gapped up 100%, 150%, and then looking for that range scalp. That's what that is, I think now, It's like, why trade a stock that's up 100% already when there's other ones that are consolidating, pushing 20, 30%, and then that can potentially break out daily wise, hourly wise, and then I can get a nice, 20 to 40 to 50% gain rather than taking a 5% scalp and then potentially getting chopped up in that range. So, because that's going to happen, right? So that's the focus. The focus is to continue, keep plugging away in the book, keep learning that, and then focus on names that have more percent probability to the upside than ones that are kind of like, B-cell. What's B-cell doing right now? This is a penny name that's just up, up here is like 112%. So, right out of the gates, this thing, cool. This thing did pop, but now it's like this stock's up 120%. what I mean, are we gonna get a black swan out of this? You know, there's only a couple of them, and for the daily on this one, it just didn't fit. You know, backside. This is a good backside example. Cool, great. Before I go, backside potential backside is this. You see the offers just come in, come in, come in. You know, they're not leaving the book. They're still on here. They've been on here, right? And now look at this guy, 362K. You know, wow. You know, now whether this they come up here, this is also point of control now. Most shares have been traded through 22 cents. All right, but even if they come in here and swipe this and try to remove this, that's cool. Maybe this thing has it's diluting. Maybe they have warrants. Maybe they just need cash. You know, remember, small caps dilute. That's it. So if you understand that and you try to be on the right side of the move, you know, whether when they're not for a long, right? When they're not diluting, when they're trying to get this stock to X amount of dollars or cents, and then from there it generates a market, and then it just kind of sells all the way off and dilutes, right? Whoa, that's cool. I don't know if you just saw that. That's pretty cool right there. It's a great example of some live action where they take this seller and they just walked it right down here to 21 cents. Okay, same exact one. Okay, but they actually doubled the size, made it a little bit heavier, 67,000 or 679K. Sorry, get it right, Mikey. But cool. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out, Mikey.